All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Today, we are completely unpacking a genuinely fascinating framework designed specifically for surviving incredibly high-stress environments. The source material we're looking at is a program focused entirely on equilibrium and biofeedback for high-emotion conflict. Now, if you've ever found yourself in a room where the tension suddenly just skyrockets, you know, that thick, cut-it-with-a-knife feeling, you know exactly how absolutely crucial it is to maintain your composure. Well, this material gives us a literal blueprint for exactly how to do that, moving from internal, physical control straight through to external resolution.
Right off the bat, I want you to notice the stark, very specific phrasing the curriculum uses to describe the core challenge we're analyzing. It specifically says emotionally explosive people. The training doesn't sugarcoat the issue, right? It doesn't use soft language like mildly upset individuals or, people having a tough day. It explicitly says explosive. And that deliberate word choice, it implies sudden, intense, and potentially very volatile behavior. By naming it so precisely, the training immediately sets the stakes for us. We aren't dealing with a simple disagreement here. We are dealing with a sudden psychological detonation.
Which brings me directly to you. Seriously, think about the last time you faced an emotionally explosive person. Ask yourself this direct question about your own physical reaction in that very second. How do your muscles react? Did your jaw suddenly clench? Did your shoulders automatically ride up to your ears? Did your breathing get really shallow and fast? Most of us go straight into an involuntary fight, flight, or freeze response. The absolute genius of the source material we're exploring today is that it targets exactly this biological physical reaction before it even attempts to address the psychological conflict happening in the room.
To really grasp this, we've got a quick agenda today. First, facing high emotion conflict. Second, calming the muscle. Third, managing your stress. Fourth, the role of biofeedback. And finally, helping explosive people. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Facing high emotion conflict. So, when dealing with these incredibly explosive situations, the overarching goal derived from this module is achieving this crucial state of balance, equilibrium. It's defined as the ultimate state of physical and mental stability required to manage and resolve high emotion conflicts. And notice how it seamlessly pairs physical and mental stability together there. You simply cannot possess the mental clarity required to diffuse a hostile situation if your body is physically panicking. True equilibrium means your heart rate is totally steady, your mind is remarkably clear, and you are entirely anchored to the floor.
And when we map out the literal timeline of a conflict, you see exactly why that physical anchor is so vital. At point 1, which spans several minutes, tension builds in the environment. Then, at point 2, happening in mere seconds, the emotional explosion actually occurs. Which means, at point 3, requiring an immediate reaction from you, you must deploy muscle relaxation. There is an exact, critical split second when a conflict escalates where physical intervention techniques have to be deployed. You just don't have the luxury of time to overthink or theorize when someone abruptly goes off. The source makes it clear that the reaction has to be instantaneous.
Moving right along to Section 2, calming the muscle. The source text deliberately specifies that this is a practical session, and that's a huge distinction. It means participants are actively doing physical muscle relaxation, like intentionally releasing the tension in their shoulders or literally unclenching their jaw. This isn't just theoretical. You aren't sitting in a seminar chair just nodding along to abstract concepts about anger management. You are actively physically relaxing the tension out of your own body in real time. Think of it like a physiological reset button that you're manually pushing. Section 3. Managing your stress. Now, this perfectly maps out your literal journey through the curriculum. It really proves that managing your own internal stress is a mandatory prerequisite for absolutely everything else. Just look at the flow. Step 1 is learning the muscle relaxation techniques. Only then can you achieve Step 2, which is actually managing your own stress level. That then opens the door to Step 3, learning biofeedback techniques. And finally, that allows you to reach Step 4, helping emotionally explosive people. You literally cannot jump straight to Step 4. It's exactly like that classic airplane safety instruction, right? You have to put your own oxygen mask on first before you assist anyone else. Because if you're stressed out, you're just going to add more fuel to their emotional explosion.
Section 4. The role of biofeedback.
Once that internal stress is regulated through the muscles, the module introduces a far more advanced tool. As the source text states, biofeedback techniques would be shared in this module to manage emotionally explosive people. Biofeedback acts as the core mechanism that transitions you from mere self-regulation to actively managing the other person in the room.
At its core, biofeedback is just the process of consciously monitoring your body's involuntary functions, like, noticing your heart racing or your breathing getting shallow, and then using physical techniques like deep diaphragmatic breathing to manually force that heart rate back down. You're taking active, deliberate control over an automatic response.
And the text reveals that these shared biofeedback techniques are exactly what empowers you to handle the explosive behavior directly. Biofeedback is what literally bridges the gap from internal calm to external management. By consciously monitoring and aggressively regulating your own physiological state, you end up projecting this overwhelmingly calming presence. You basically become a grounded lightning rod for the other person's chaotic energy. You aren't merely acting calm, you are radiating a biological equilibrium that actively disrupts their escalation cycle.
Section 5. Helping emotionally explosive people.
There's this really fascinating mirror effect at play here. The internal work you do to manage your own stress, well, it isn't solely for your personal comfort. It's actually a highly tactical tool that you deploy to accomplish the external goal of de-escalating someone else. Your internal physiology becomes the literal tool that fixes their external psychology.
So, to kind of bring this all together and summarize the core structure of the source material we've unpacked today, let's review the 3 distinct pillars. Securing personal equilibrium first, applying shared biofeedback techniques, and finally, de-escalating the explosive individual. The ability to help someone else is 100% anchored in mastering your own physical stress response first. That practical session of muscle relaxation we discussed earlier, that is the literal physical foundation that this entire conflict resolution strategy rests upon. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The next time you step into a high emotion environment and the tension suddenly breaks, when that explosion happens, will your muscles be ready? Will you unconsciously tense up and just feed the chaos? Or will you actively find your equilibrium and completely take control of the room? Thank you so much for exploring this incredibly powerful framework with me. Keep learning, stay grounded, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.